So then we had this weird let's go to Reach conversation and keys and some mysterious guy that as a normie.
That is Lord Terrence Hood. That is the guy she's talking to, is Lord Terrence Hood. He is an admiral in the UNSC fleet.
I'm glad we've had
Admiral.
major upgrades to uniforms 500 years from now.
I don't know why they don't explain that. They just kind of throw that at you and expect you to know. And they, again, this is not made for the gamers. This is not made for people that love the game. This is supposed to be something they don't, with characters that they've just recycled. I really don't get their thinking.
But the problem is, as a normie, though, is I don't know who anybody is. I don't get any introductions or anything. I don't even get the casual, this is your name and title when the scene starts. People just start talking.
I've got a limited amount of knowledge of the Halo franchise, and it's like, I'm looking around like, where's Griff? That's about the only name I remember from the series aside from Cortana. It's like
Griff is in Red versus Blue, which isn't like...
the
Sergeant?
Yes.
He's not in this. Yes. They replaced him by making a black Captain Keyes. So they've given you a black Captain Keyes who is part Sergeant, part Captain Keyes, and melded those two characters together instead of giving you the Sergeant that we all know and love.
So basically, I don't know what to call this guy.
I'm thinking of Johnson.
Yeah, Sergeant Johnson.
Yeah.
We basically get a whole lot of nonsense, and then we cut back to our other Spartans. And I want to point out that for anyone who's following along or has any affinity for the Halo show, and if you were really bent out of shape over him showing his face and removing his helmet, no one ever wears a helmet, man. Nobody's wearing helmets. Here's the other Spartans one by one. Yeah. Chief's always got a plan, they say. I don't know that I believe it. I assume in the game it's not just Master Chief. The others keep their helmets on as well, or no?
Yes, their Spartans have been known to occasionally take a helmet off, but it's not something they would normally do.
Right.
There is an episode in the actual Reach animated film where they all show up on Reach and they take their helmet off, but Chief's like, nope, I ain't taking mine off.
And is there a lot of again, I know probably the answer before I even finish asking the question. I assume all of these scenes and all of this is just extrapolation of nonsense. There's not a whole lot of this kind of story in the extended universe of Halo. And to me, the only thing I could tell apart from them is green visor, gold visor, red visor. Oh, it matches their suit here too, the uniform.
And the numbers are different.
Yeah.
Okay. In the game, you would really notice the numbers and stuff. Okay. All right. Well, they're basically going to go after Master Chief, helmets on, more commentary that we don't care about, and then that he flew them into an asteroid belt. So we have Empire Strikes Back. Yep, we're right to Empire Strikes Back. Quan's going to die. She's all scared. And then he's just being cool and collective. Again, I immediately thought of you, Loki. Like, I thought I would have the helmet on because there'd probably be some technology in the helmet that might help you navigate an asteroid field.
Or if the front window gets busted out, you have some way to breathe.
You wouldn't die. Maybe Miss Mullet dies, but you don't die.
That's right.
Nope. No common sense whatsoever. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know.
I'm not even
keep
looking.
Your eyes on the asteroids.
I'm not even looking where I'm going. Sit down.
He's just sit down. Buckle up. Baby Yoda buckles up. He's doing crazy Boba Fett spins through an asteroid field like he's flying a Millennium Falcon or something too. And then they're out and we're good.
And he knew. Let me make that clear. He knew that was coming. He could have come out of hyperspace before he was in an asteroid field. He decided not to.
Okay.
But Loki, it wouldn't have been as exciting for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even a Quan, you soiled yourself joke or anything to entertain me. So we show up at mystery location where he's going to meet up with not Dave Chappelle. This is basically an amalgam of like some sort of underground. Well, he put his helmet back on for her, so I thought that was at least a little interesting. See, he didn't know what he's getting himself into. He's trying to be intimidating. So it's Total Recall meets something else, and I haven't quite placed it.
The Expanse.
Ah, okay.
This is a rip-off of The Expanse, as well as the chick that talks to Halsey earlier. This is all rip-off of The Expanse.
Yeah.
These are the rebels, and what's her name that we saw earlier is Avasarala from The Expanse.
Yeah. So this was their, again, a wasted scene. The audience already knows. This is another trope that modern these streaming shows do. Netflix has it as well, but the audience already knows the information, but we still do stuff. So for instance, he's got to show that he's so strong and he's more powerful, and that he's going to have to show that off for the characters, but not for the audience. Meanwhile, the audience still has questions. Yeah, they all think they're so full of themselves that they pulled the forklift in front of Master Chief, who basically just toss it aside, move it out of the way. The audience already knows he can do all these things. We don't care, because we have to get to helmet off to meet not Dave Chappelle. God, it is eerie, isn't it?
Yeah, I could not stop thinking of it the entire time. Like, this is Dave Chappelle's stunt double.
It's like a long lost brother, Dave. Long lost brother. So he's basically Lando Calrissian. So he's not Dave Chappelle. Lando is what he's basically running, some sort of knockoff of Bespin plus Expanse, Total Recall, all these different nonsense. And he's going to take the relic there. So there's all this sort of commentary. There's tension between them. And I guess we didn't touch on it much. That opening sequence when he's leaving the program, not Dave Chappelle, made it kind of almost like a slavery reference. Like, I just can't stay here. They're just oppressing me so much. Like, it's almost like being trapped in slavery. It's not as cringy as I kind of make it sound, but they kind of keep hitting on it again about freedom and stuff like that. I was like, please don't. Please don't. I don't know what was your impression, Loki?
Oh, exactly the same. I knew as soon as he gave him 5 minutes, I was like, okay, this is going to be the guy that got out and is free and represents freedom. And he's the guy who's going to teach Master Chief, oh, well, it's okay to walk away and be free, man. Get away from mama.
You got to think for yourself.
Yeah, who he calls Halsey. He calls Halsey John's mama. You got to get away from mama.
I will note, obviously, Miss Mullet has some friends. Here's redhead Miss Mullet right here. And I shouldn't misgender. Could be a male. Don't really know. And don't really care. We're big into some mullets in this universe.
Apparently, this universe where the mullet never went out of style.
It's ugly big. Not a lot has happened in 500 years when it comes to uniforms and fashion and hairstyles, evidently. So,
although everyone does manage to keep their hair neatly cut, especially in this like dark, seedy underground like Asteroid base.
This to me was okay. Please tell me, Loki, that there's some sort of reference to.
Nope.
Please! Oh my gosh,
This
is so bad. For any of you that don't know, this is really, really bad. I thought to myself, in 500 years, we've come up with this is their grand idea of transportation in their remote expanse. Now it's got like a touch of Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. And then we tease into, I mean, literally like the sparks, it tips over. Again, Amblin bought this, folks. This has got Spielberg's name, at least somewhere in all of its history. And then it's like, okay, we're going to keep going. It's going to get worse. Because it basically transforms into, yes.
Yeah, but here, hold on. Go back just a tad.
Okay.
If that car came out of that asteroid and that line is under it, how does it like stay the way it is and clip onto that line as it shoots out of the asteroid if the line is directly below it?
Well, how does the asteroids not just rip everything apart in their movement? Like, no matter how they're attached, it's like any asteroid movement would just shred all these little lines and cables and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then just the absurdity of that we're basically going to take like the ski lift from asteroid to asteroid, or I
Mhm.
was like, this is just
Yeah, dumb.
who let this get through? Like, this is just so. I thought of like
Don't
something-
ask questions, Pops. You'll ruin it. And that's exactly what she says. Don't. You're ruining it.
I wish it was not true, but it so is. It so is so true. How bad it is. Oh gosh.
Like the worst part about it is like the effects look nice, but there's no substance to it. This could be from anything. Nothing about this shot says Halo. There's
Yeah.
like the only recognizable bit of Halo we have is the armor and the pelican that I didn't realize could travel through space.